What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. So here is a short but very interesting story. The other day I was just working on my computer when a friend of mine texted me. His text said that he had watched a movie which had motivated him to change his whole lifestyle by going vegan. So he told me, man, now I'm vegan. And I'm like, whoa, what kind of movie is supposed to make you go vegan? And he said, this is a movie produced by Arnold Schwarzenegger, the man himself, and some other guy, James Cameron. Who the cares about this guy? Ain't nobody cares about him, but the movie is produced by Arnold Schwarzenegger. It has also changed my guy's whole lifestyle, so I was like, man, this movie has to be good and it needs to have something good for me too, because I don't want to make you feel sorry for me, because you really shouldn't, but you must know already about my biceps tendonitis injury. This is an inflammation of the long head of the biceps tendon, which means that I struggle with some kind of inflammation, and therefore I decided that this movie will help me to find salvation from this problem, because I've been struggling from it for quite a while now, 8 months. That's way too much, so I also decided to give the movie a shot. But before I continue, I just want to give a shout out to that guy. His Instagram is right here, you can check it out. He has some really nice photography, so yeah, I think it's worth a follow. So the movie is called Game Changers, and as you may have guessed already, it is all about veganism and the effects that veganism has on our lives. So this movie is referred to as a documentary, which I really believe that the real documentary is all about presenting both sides of a matter and then presenting them to the viewer and letting them decide for themselves what they want to choose. I mean, which side to support. In this case, veganism or meat eaters. Now, this documentary in particular did not do this whatsoever. I mean, they did not present the both sides of the matter. And do I approve of that? Absolutely not. Anyway, did I find any help about my injury in this movie? Do I think that you should watch it too? And do I really think you should go vegan? Well, these are all questions that are going to be answered in this video. So if you want them to be answered, just stick until the end of it. Alright, before I start talking about the main statements presented in the movie, and before I tell you my own personal opinion about that matter, I will need to reiterate that the movie has been produced by the man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that guy, James Cameron. Now, can this cause some conflict of interests? Well, let's find out. According to a research of mine, James Cameron, this producer guy, is the CEO and founder of a company called Veganism Foods. They sell organic pea protein, or with other words, they sell vegan products. Now, this may cause some conflict of interests.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Is Arnie involved in this too? Schwarzenegger, by the way. Arnie Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you get it? Arnie? Yeah. So is Arnie involved in this too? Well, it seems that he is, because indeed he has a food company. One of his company is about selling vegan products too. So is this movie biased? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Well, now let's dive into the movie. It is narrated by a guy named James Wilkes. He is a former UFC fighter, and in the beginning of the movie he talks about his upbringing and how he suddenly got injured and this injury required a surgery. During his recovery period, he decided to make a lot of research, like 1,000 hours of research, at least that's what he says, in the period of 6 months. And what he has found has been shocking, you know, that's how he says it. He spends all of this time researching stuff about nutrition, diets and training just to find a way to recover faster and more efficiently from his injury, which I really respect, and I really was intrigued by the movie at this point, because that's the exact reason why I'm watching it. I just want to recover faster and more efficiently from my injury. The documentary starts with him saying that he has found a research about that the gladiators, the merciless killers, the fighters, you know the ones, you must know them already, they have been vegan. He finds a research that this is true. And so this sounds really interesting. However, this is actually not a research, but just an article that assumes that this has been the case. Assumes. This assumption comes from the examination of gladiators' bones that have been found. However, what I found about these gladiators' bones is that their bones have had really high nitrogen amounts, which really leads to a high protein diet, which then leads to mainly animal products. Let's not even mention the high amounts of sulfur in their bones, which indicate a diet very saturated with seafood. And as far as I'm concerned, vegans don't consume seafood, do they? Now at this point I wouldn't be concerned that there is something fishy about the movie. Get it? Fishy. Because I was talking about seafood.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
I wouldn't be worried that there is something fishy about the movie if they hadn't omitted this part of the research, my part of the research. Now this really kind of looks suspicious.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Indeed, in the movie you can find some really basic stuff, like at one moment you can hear the narrator saying that
people still believe protein is the main source of energy for the human body, but it's not. It's actually carbohydrates.
Say no more.
I didn't know that. Eureka, man. Awesome. Now there may be such people that are not aware that protein is not the main source for energy for the human body, but these people are not educated in this kind of expertise at all. I mean, they may not even know what protein and carbohydrates are. I mean, they may not even know what macronutrients are. These kinds of people don't know that the carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body. There is also one part of the movie talking about McGregor and Diaz, two big UFC fighters if you don't know this already. And before the fight there has been some talks about how McGregor eats 3 steaks a day, every day, so a lot of meat, and Diaz has been on a vegan diet. In the end, Diaz beat McGregor, and according to the movie you can hear that veganism is the reason for this. Now, in my opinion, this is not exactly so. I think there are many other factors, much more major than this one. This is a really minor one and it may not even be a factor, but who knows, I'll leave this just be there. But you can see that I'm kind of concerned at this point about the truth of the movie. Okay, I think that at this point you already know about that the movie may not be exactly meat supportive and it may have some conflict of interests, but I just need to put something here because it's really ridiculous. At some part of the movie you will hear that one peanut butter sandwich has as much protein as 3 ounces of steak and 3 eggs. Like 3 ounces of steak equal 21 grams of protein, and depending to the egg size, they may be 18 grams of protein, 3 eggs I mean, or 20 grams of protein, or 15 grams of protein. Anyway, we'll stick to 18 grams of protein. So, does one peanut butter sandwich equal 18 grams of protein? Well, let's see. One slice of bread is about 4 grams of protein, and let's not even mention that it's 16 grams of carbs too. I'll leave this just away. But also, how much protein is exactly left now? Like 14 grams of protein. Well, in order to get 14 grams of protein from peanut butter, you will need to eat 80 grams of peanut butter. Like, I don't know who eats such peanut butter sandwiches, but let me just demonstrate what you will need to do in order to get 80 grams of peanut butter for your sandwich. It seems that for a vegan, 1 tablespoon or 16 grams of peanut butter or 4 grams of protein are just not enough. They actually need more, so this is a really weak mother for them. We leave this alone and we get one of those because that's what a real man eats. This is how you make a peanut butter sandwich, with one of those as big as my head, but actually not, because if you want 80 grams of peanut butter, you need 2 of those. You need 2 of those. I mean, that's how vegans make peanut butter sandwiches. Like this much peanut butter and a slice of bread in between them, I don't know. So I think that there may have been a mistake in this movie, and I don't really know what kind of crazy man has believed this statement that 1 peanut butter sandwich has as much protein as 3 ounces of steak. This is ridiculous, and I'll just leave it say here in the video, but like, never believe such things, guys. Always trust, but always verify. Now, there are many other things that the movie suggests will happen after you go on a plant-based diet, like that you'll have stronger and longer erections if you're a man, and etc. other things, but I will just stop here because here comes my part, the inflammation part, how meat eating affects inflammation in the body. I have been waiting for this part throughout the whole movie. As I mentioned, biceps tendonitis, or the injury that I suffer from, is an inflammation of the biceps tendon. So this is why I'm so interested in this part of the movie. The movie says that eating red meat really increases inflammation in the body. In fact, I think they said about 70% more inflammation in the body by eating red meat. But not only that, but by eating fish and poultry too. Now, poultry, alright, I may be able to believe this one. Red meat too. I really think that, according to my researchers of course, red meat and poultry cause some excessive inflammation in the body. What excessive? They cause inflammation in the body. Any inflammation in the body is excessive. But in fact, they say bad things about fish too. And this is just unacceptable, because omega-3s, or the healthy fats that the fish is packed with, they decrease inflammation by a hell lot. So you can't say that fish causes inflammation, because it actually decreases inflammation. And at this point of the movie, I was really disappointed from the things that have been said. I'm disappointed of you, Arnie. James Cameron's a bitch. So after watching the movie, will I go vegan? Should you go vegan? And what do I think overall about veganism? Well, to the first question, I will actually go vegetarian for 1 week, like my first period. Then I may go for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even longer. I will do this to decrease the inflammation on my biceps tendon, because I really need to do this. And when you watch this movie, I will have been on a vegetarian diet for 6 days, and today is my 3rd day. I actually feel pretty good overall, which is a really nice thing. But let's mention again that I'm not on a vegan diet, but vegetarian now. 3 days, feeling pretty good. I'll tell you more about it. I will probably make another video too after 1-2 weeks on being vegetarian. Before watching the movie, I have been the guy who eats meat 2 times a day, every day, which is really not good, especially when I have such an injury. So I think this will really have a very positive effect on me. And I will of course do another video after 1 to 2 weeks of being on a vegetarian diet to tell you how I feel overall once again. My opinion about veganism: I hate it. I disapprove of it. This is why after watching this movie, I'm on a vegetarian diet, not on a vegan diet. I mean, just skipping on all of the animal products like milk, cheese, all of this. I think this is a really big loss, because after all, let's give an example with our Bulgarian yogurt. I mean, it has a very beneficial for our body
bacteria,
which is called Lactobacillus bulgaricus or something like this. Anyway, it's very healthy for your body, and it has 1,000 benefits. So I really think that by going vegan, you will miss a hell lot of stuff. So I suggest you don't go vegan too. And I mean, if you're on a vegan diet, you don't eat eggs. Who doesn't eat eggs, bruh? You mad? Are you mad? Who doesn't eat eggs? So let's reiterate, should you go vegan? If I shouldn't, I don't think you should either. This is only my opinion, and I believe that you should do your own research to choose what diet to be on, but definitely avoid such biased resources as this one movie. Sorry, Arnie, but I'm not a fan of yours anymore. I don't think I should be. And I also want to mention that if you're like me before, eating meat 2 times a day, every day, you need to go slow on it, brother. I mean, or sister. You need to go slow on it, because it may cause some really bad health issues in the future that are most likely going to affect your gym performance. So this should concern you. Alright guys, this was the whole video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and of course if you did, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel for more, and turn on the little bell. Let's hit them 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I've got 200 more, but I really believe we're going to make it if we just work for that one goal together. Oh, say can you? I don't know if it's like that, and I'm also not an American, I'm a Bulgarian, so though this is not the anthem, just to mention this, I don't want anybody to think that I'm stupid. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. I told you everything. Also, definitely make sure you do your own research on the topic, as I've already pointed out, because this is the best way that you decide what is best for you and your body. But never believe biased resources. Always trust, but always verify. Ken McElroy. Alright guys, stay healthy, stay positive, learn, enjoy, grow, stay green. Stupid. Learn, enjoy, grow, and I'll see you in the next one.